All right, y'all. I want to talk about this whole Joe Rogan situation real quick, right? Um, so y'all know with Joe Rogan, the first attempt to try to get him cancel and deplatform him was because of his COVID misinformation, right? Because he allowed others to come on and their doctors, um, who got the background and qualified to talk about it. They had different opinions of different views from what the mainstream media was talking about. Now, a lot of people in the mainstream don't like Joe as it is because he's not a real journalist or whatever, and he didn't went to school for that, and yet he got all these followers, these listeners, coming in and watching him. I think for every time he dropped a video or something, it's like 10 million people tuning in or whatever. And I don't know if they say a month or a year, he got like 100 and something million listens. I can't remember how it go, but he got like a lot of people tuning in. And I watch some of his stuff here and there. Me personally, I like his content or whatever overall. So they jealous and felt some kind of way, and will always take little remarks at Joe or whatever. And I do, and I will say, and I say this, okay. You know how the mainstream media is very aggressive when it comes to different views on a situation. We know that. We know that they want to control everything. You're not allowed to say an opinion, a different view. You're not allowed to question too much. Hey, you're not even allowed to say, "Hey, this is what I experienced." I remember I was watching The View, and the old co-host Jedediah came back, and Sunny Halston, she was so nasty towards her. She wasn't allowed. She said she didn't want to get the because of, I think, health reasons. And what if she was to get a blood clot or something like that? It's for some health reasons. And she talked to her doctor. And so, what's her face? Sunny Hustle was rolling her eye and just being nasty and mean spirited and whatnot. And kind of just, they cut. She said, I don't think you should be able to be, I'm paraphrasing, to be on the show and talk about it, blah, blah, blah. And basically, they just cut her off. They ran out of time and cut her loose, right? So they treated her like crap, right? Um, it's like with Joe. He got so much influence, so much listeners, right? So now they wanted to deplatform him for, the COVID misinformation, right? Well, that didn't work. Even Neil Armstrong and some other lady that nobody knows because they old and washed up and dried up wanted to basically remove their stuff from Spotify to try to influence Spotify to get rid of Joe Rogan, which I think reportedly he signed $100 million deal. It probably more than that, but that's what the word on the curve. So anyway, so they did that. It still didn't quite work. Joe was just like he likes Neil Armstrong and the other chick that nobody knows, and Neil Young. I say Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong was in the sky, in the air, in it, on Earth, on the moon, whatever. Somebody. But anyway, he just said nice things about him, and I got a Neil Young story, blase blase. Okay, so that didn't work. So then you got a black woman, artist, India Irie. I don't really know. I know her. I know like probably like one or two songs of hers, but I know who she is. So she came out and basically said she's moving her stuff too. I think she's what she said was it wasn't because of the misinformation. It was really because she's not getting paid big money. She's not really getting paid, and the black artists are the backbone and all this blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, India, please, you are not bringing in the type of money and the listeners in that Joe is bringing in, and that just is what it is. I'm sorry, I love the song "I Am Not My Hair," baby, but baby, you are not bringing that in. So that kind of got stuff rolling, first with the black woman and the IRE, and then old clips came up of Joe saying the N word. Now, he wasn't calling someone an N word, but he was just saying how basically he was just repeating what someone else said, but he wasn't calling. Now, me personally, when you put it in context like that, I personally don't care. But we all know in the black community when it comes to that word, we are not all on code on who can use it, who can't use it. We are not all on code. It is so many rules to it. It's just like you can't tell me how to feel. So for me personally, it's just like when you put it in that context, I don't care. But I can understand how a black person could get triggered by that, and that should be taken in consideration. And so he apologized for that, but that don't make him a ras, hate black people. YouTube. That don't make him hate black people. That is not the definition of being a race. That's not the definition. You kind of downplaying it by that. That is not the definition, because if a white person is putting down information for the officer, and he said, yeah, this other white person called a black person the N-word, but actually say it, that would not make him a racist. You know what I'm saying? That's just not the definition, y'all. You may not like it, and you may be triggered by it, just hearing that word coming from a non-person of color. Okay? But that doesn't make him, he hate black people. That's not enough information. It's evidence, in my opinion. It's not. Then he made this joke about the whole Planet of the Apes thing, saying that they walked into Planet of the Apes because, it was nothing but black people. And y'all know the stereotype with calling us monkeys. Now, that was a bit dicey. But I still, this is what I said. I think clearly he was trying to make it fun, but he immediately apologized in the video, like, oh no, that's, that don't sound right, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's where my thing is on this stuff, because people are, in the black community and others are trying to say that he hate black people and that's why he's doing this. Well, he already apologized and he did his little apology or whatever. But my thing is this, y'all, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm consistent with this. Dave Chappelle, when he did his thing towards the trans community, I personally didn't care. I'm part of the rainbow community. I'm not a trans, but I didn't care about it for the most part. I thought it was some parts was funny to me, right? But I'm not trans, so I can't say what they can or can't be offended by. But if they want to be offended, go ahead, be offended, whatever. But not all trans were offended either now. But I'm just saying, I've noticed a large that the black community was defending Dave Chappelle, right? Cool. And it was just a joke, and oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. And I remember thinking, I agree, I think it's a joke, and I believe that he's not coming from a malice place. However, if this was a white comedian making a joke about the black people, and may have used stereotypes or whatever, the same way, what's his face, Dave Chappelle did it some, right? Would y'all keep that same energy? Would y'all just say it's a joke then? Or would y'all get aggressive and mad because, you know what I'm saying, triggered? And I did have someone say, and this person got some likes, that, oh no, people don't care about that. It's just that they try to make us think that we're bothered, but we don't care, we just want to laugh. Well, that's not what I'm seeing. I've seen some people defending it, but it is a lot of people who are saying we need to stick together, they don't respect us, and doing all this other stuff, right? But these are the same type of people that would defend Dave Chappelle for going at that group. Was making a joke. Now my thing is this, I feel like keep the same energy. Me personally, hey, I don't think what's his name's Joe Rogan should be deplatformed, and I don't think that Dave Chappelle should have got kicked off of Netflix. I don't because I think they both were joking. I got a wicked sense of humor. I'm not that sensitive. If I believe you are doing it from a joke place, for me personally, I'm just not that sensitive. However, I do have to respect my fellow brothers and sisters who may say, hey, I do get triggered by that. But I do think we need to have that conversation. Is it okay for our own to go after different groups and make jokes? And I think The Rock, yeah, he made jokes about Asian people, right? And he said some stuff about little Trent. He was just mocking like the way they talk. Like what's okay and what's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like what is okay and what is not okay. The rule just changes up, So, but I mean, me personally, I'm not mad about this. I just feel like I don't see how you can be okay with one comedian going after the group, but not the other one. You see what I'm saying? We got to have some kind of consistency here. That's just how I feel. But Joe Rogan, he did apologize, but child, please, I already knew some of this stuff existed, because I remember a while back, I think Sonny Hudson did talk about this a while back. But I already knew about this beforehand, and I still check for Joe stuff, because I truly don't believe that he's coming from a place of, he hate black people. I don't believe that. Based on what I see, I don't think that's enough evidence to convince me. I just don't see that. Now, give me your view. Comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. Let's spark up a conversation. You might feel different from I do, and that's cool. But be honest with yourself and say, are you A-okay with other groups? It's like, can we go after every group, but the black people are off limits? Because some people, every group is going. I'm gonna keep it. Every group is going to step though. Every group just about is going to step, and if you really coming at them, they're gonna step. Whether you joking or not, they're gonna step and stand up for themselves. Especially, the rainbow community, LGBTQ plus, the Jewish community, the black community. I don't know how the Asians will feel. They gonna make their little noise too. You might not hear much, but they gonna make their noise too. And so it's like we can't tell people how they should be offended or not. You know. So what do? You acknowledge it, keep it moving, and say, "Hey, just don't watch, but I'm gonna keep doing me." I don't know. But me, I laugh at Joe. I mean, I laugh at all kind of stuff, y'all. I got a wicked sense of humor. I laugh at what a woman name is. Joan Rivers. She made a joke about people who got kidnapped and touched. I think they've been kidnapped for years.